Welcome back to halftime here on ESPN Arkansas. Matt Jenkins, Maddie T. Phil is getting ready for the women's basketball game over at the SEC Women's Tournament. You can watch that game on the SEC Network channels here very soon. Actually, Maddie, I think the game started at 1:30, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or that's when the schedule time was. So we'll touch more on that here in a minute. But right now, we're going to take a little break from sports. A couple of days ago, you heard me talk about on, I believe it was this past Friday, told you need to tune in and watch American Idol. I had a good friend of mine, an Arkansas Tech graduate, a homebred Arkansas soul. He was going to make his Idol debut. Didn't go the way we wanted it to, but we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ryan Harmon, joining us here on Halftime today. Ryan, it's good to talk to you, my man. So, for those,
it's in my contract. I got to say
you're contractually obligated now to say shoo-wee. So,
hey, do you think you got connections with the U of A to where we can make some Woo Pig Shoo-wee T-shirts?
I mean, Matty T, I think we could pull something off like that.
Certainly, just
shoo-wee. So, for those of you that don't know, Ryan was a contestant on this season of American Idol. He auditioned in the Savannah, Georgia audition pool. Ryan, first off, just talk a little bit about that whole experience of being a part of American Idol.
Well, I fell backwards into the whole dang thing. It was something that hadn't even crossed my mind, but happened to when I was working for Arkansas PBS. It was just a perfect example of being in the right place at the right time, man. We had kind of a country music summit meeting for local stuff we were going to do for the Ken Burns country music documentary that aired last year. And in the middle of the meeting, we had all these people who were part of the Arkansas country music world, and a buddy of mine named Nathan Honeycutt, who runs the Arkansas Country Music Awards with Charles Haynes. In the middle of the meeting, Nathan just said, "Hey, by the way, if anybody knows anyone between the ages of 16 and 28 who might be interested in auditioning for American Idol, the producers asked me to submit some names." And everybody who worked with me, just like clockwork, just turned and looked at me. And I thought, well, it's nice of them to mention it, but I'm probably not going to be what they're looking for, So I wasn't even going to do it. And then my boss, Julie Thomas, and one of my coworkers, Katie Culpepper, cornered me in the hallway and said, "You're doing this. You're not going to pass this up. These opportunities don't come around every day."
Right.
And so I finally said, well, all right, I'll give it a shot. And I was nice enough or lucky enough to get invited by one of the executive producers to go audition in a private setting just for the producers in Nashville. And they liked the Arkansas touch just enough that they wanted to put me through to play in front of Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, and Katy Perry. Did I mention Katy Perry?
You mentioned, yeah, I think you said it once or twice.
Yeah, and Katy Perry, too.
I can remember watching it, Maddie, when he came on there and he went, I think correct me if I'm wrong, she asked where you were from, I think, or was that Lionel that asked where you're from?
Lionel asked where I was from.
Asked where he was from. He said, Lamar, By Golly, Arkansas.
That really confused her.
It really did.
Yeah.
Because Arkansas.
And I didn't even think about it being confusing. I just thought, well, I didn't think. I usually don't think before I talk. That's how we got so many T-shirtable catchphrases out of that.
And the look on Katy Perry's face when he went By Golly, Arkansas, I didn't know there was a By Golly, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Which I got it. He was talking. I was like, okay, he's from Lamar, Arkansas. I got it.
Congratulations.
Well, and Lionel got it because he's from Alabama, so he speaks our language too.
And Luke got it too.
Oh yeah, and Luke's from Georgia. He was the hometown boy that weekend. He's from Georgia, so.
Katy Perry announced she's
that was a lot of fun.
Do what, Maddie?
Katy Perry, didn't she announce she's pregnant?
I think.
I think she had
I don't
music
remember.
video.
Oh,
no. There's no connection or anything, is there? It's like how convenient that seemed to work out.
Oh man, but I mean, how cool was it to literally sing? A lot of people do the cover songs. They play the piano, they play guitar, but it takes that certain kind of artist to play their own tune, their own song, the own song that they wrote for the judges. And I think, or just the way it looked on TV, it may be different from what you saw, but on TV, it looked like that song you sang really touched them.
Well, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I had tossed around some covers that I thought that I might be able to pull off pretty well that they would be interested in, but at the end of the day, when it came down to it, I thought, I sound like what I sound like, I do what I do, and it's not going to matter if I do a cover or an original. It's still going to be the same voice and the same guitar playing doing that song.
Right.
So if they're not digging my style, then doing a cover is not going to make any difference. So I might as well just do an original song. That way it's even more me. And, you know, even if things don't pan out, I can maybe get a little, get a few doors open from that, which, you know, I kind of put my marketing cap on and said, okay, I'm going to play this new song. I'm going to have it ready to release as a single by the time the show airs. And so far that seemed to have worked in my favor. So,
I was going to say, because
I've done one thing right at least.
Oh, Lord, no, you've done a whole lot of things right. I think the big thing, a lot of those people, when you see them audition, I mean, if they don't make it, they get upset, they cry. You got the best no I think the show has ever seen.
Yeah, I was really lucky. Just to be honest,
yes,
I didn't even think I was going to get to that point of the competition. I thought that the thing I did for the producers was going to be it, because I hadn't auditioned for the show before. I didn't know any of them personally, aside from just talking to one a couple times on the phone, but I didn't think I would get further than that. I just thought it was something cool to be asked to do. So when I got to the televised one in Georgia, I really didn't expect to go any further than that. So
right.
I just kind of pulled out all the stops and decided, well, I'm just going to have fun with this and play my heart out and do the best I can with one of probably what I think is maybe one of my strongest songs that I've written so far, and just see what happens. So, but I figured it would just be a plain no. I didn't think it would be a great no like it was, you know. And I'm not going to lie, when it happened, I wasn't really too emotional because I was excited more than anything. I was too excited to really get emotional. But when I was sitting there with a lot of my friends on on Sunday night watching it again, man, it was tough. I actually did kind of start to tear up a little bit just watching it again and just seeing the impact that it had on them. You know, they just it changed my life. It really did.
Ryan, how many layers of auditions did you have to go through before you actually get to those judges on television?
I just had to do the one. Normally, they could do anywhere between one, and I've even heard of some people who said they had to go 5 or 6 times before they got through that. And I don't know exactly how they decide that, of if somebody they think is ready to go on or what they're looking for or what. But I was lucky enough I just did one and got through to the televised audition.
Eric Krigbaum on Facebook says you were absolutely robbed, and the voice auditions are coming up in Faytown. Any plans on trying out in Fayetteville for The Voice now?
You know, I've seen that, and of course, a lot of people have sent that to me. You know, it's I kind of feel bad. You know, everybody's been saying, "Man, that's BS. You need to audition for The Voice." But really, Luke and Lionel and Katie, they did about the biggest favor anybody has ever done for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't get mad at them. They really helped me out because I had been holding back on giving myself a chance for years. And they gave me the confirmation that you need to give yourself a chance with this. So that it couldn't have gone any better. But to answer your question, as of right now, I don't have any plans to audition for The Voice, but I can certainly never say never, because I said never with American Idol for a long time just because I didn't think that I would be what they were looking for, and here we are talking about it, so who knows? It could happen. I
think that's why so many people connected to your story on there, was just like, and me and you're the same way. We're good friends from college. Like, we never give ourselves a chance to just open up and just do what we're called to do, and you took a chance and you killed it. And personally, I don't think Nashville is ready to take care of you and Luke Williams, who's another good friend of mine. And the both of you in that same city, oh, Lord help us.
There ain't enough fireball in that tank.
Well, Matty T, looking on Facebook, his audition has almost 2.6 million views on the Facebook page. I'm not sure what it is on Twitter or anything like that. But no, that is just a truly awesome experience. And so, is there anything that people don't know? Like, obviously, you only see what you see on American Idol on TV. Is there anything that people need to know, like what they didn't see behind the scenes or anything? Because there was a great scene of you, looked like you were toe-stepping or doing all kinds of stuff on the show.
Yeah, that I figured if nothing else, they would show that, even if they didn't show anything else. But when we got there, we were there for about 14 hours. And that's something a lot of people don't know, is it takes a long time for them to get the variety of footage they have with everybody.
Right.
Which, of course, we're all from a broadcasting background, so we know that it takes a lot of work. But, the thing with that was they came out about an hour after we got there, and they said, okay, guys, we're going to have an American Idol dance party. And the first thing that went through my head was, oh, good Lord, what is this going to turn into here? And at first, they ran through this song, which they didn't play the song on the show, but they ran through this, kind of bumping hip-hop, rave kind of song twice.
Right.
And the first time around, I just kind of stood in the back because I was all out of ideas. And then the second time around, one of the producers saw me standing in the back, and he screamed at me, he goes, Ryan, get in there! And so I got in there and said, okay, you asked for it, and there you had it.
And it got on TV, yeah. All right, Ryan,
I stole all of my dance moves from Jed Clampett and David Lee Roth, so that's what we got there.
That's
not
awesome.
A good combination, but that's what we had.
This is a little bit of Ryan doing I Knew This Would Happen.
That was his audition song.
Yeah.
Well, how long had you made up your mind? Is there anything that you might miss? How can I go on after this? There's some things you just can't fix. So if you're gonna leave me now, tell me, is it worth the pain?
That's awesome.
Amazing.
How much does that have on YouTube, Matty T?
That's only, well, this is this is from Ryan's personal
Yeah, that's
page,
it, yeah.
6.5 thousand.
That's awesome. That is fantastic. So, Ryan, at the end of the audition, Luke Bryan pretty much implored you to go to Nashville and hone in on your craft. Not that you need to hone in on your craft, but move on to Nashville and tear it up on the Nashville scene. Is that what we can expect in the future of Ryan Harmon?
It's I take everything day by day, and when it came time for the show to air Sunday night, I was still of the mindset that I was going to have a 1-year plan, where a year from now I was going to go to Nashville and try to make something happen.
Yeah.
But I was talking with a buddy of mine the other night, and I told him that, and he said, well, if you want to wait a year, that's okay, but you're going to be 1 year behind everybody who's loading up their truck tonight. And so with that in mind, although there's still nothing in the cards, and of course with what happened the other night, our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody in
Yes.
Nashville. I'm hoping to go down there here in the next couple of weeks or so and just kind of look around and just kind of see what's going on, and probably help out if there's any way I can help out with what just happened. But yeah, I think I don't really have much of a choice at this point. I think that the way this whole thing has went, I've got to cross that Tennessee line at least a little bit.
We got a man just texted in, BE from Clarksville, and he wanted me to tell you to strike while the iron is hot. So you're the talk of the town right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere. Where, for people that aren't familiar with you, we got about probably 90 seconds, about 2 minutes left here with this interview before we need to cut to a break. Where can the ESPN Arkansas world find you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? This is your time to shine.
Well, you can go to RyanHarmonMusic.com, Facebook.com/RyanHarmonMusic. On Instagram, I'm at Ryan Harmon Music, and Twitter, I'm going to shock the world, it's Ryan Harmon Music.
Easy enough to find.
I don't do too well on Twitter, but I'm trying to get a little bit better.
I understand. Hey, it's a tricky concept. I had to get good at it when I got this job up here, so it's something you got to do.
Yeah, I was sitting there the other night going, how do I see how many replies I have on this?
Well, maybe since you're probably heading to Nashville in a couple weeks, the Razorbacks going down to the SEC tournament down there. I wonder if we could, Matty T, try to get in touch with the SEC to get Ryan Harmon to do something at the SEC
maybe
tournament.
Sing the national anthem? Or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I'll do that.
My man, I know it. Ryan, we appreciate the time.
For the land of the free,
Ooh.
and my CDs are in the lobby.
Ooh, yes. Guys, any of you out there listening to us right now, give this guy a listen. He is absolutely fantastic. He's one of the purest country voices in the nation right now. And I know when this man goes to Nashville, he's fixing to tear it up down there. Ryan, we appreciate the time. Good luck to you in the future, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, brother. Hey, thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ryan.
Not a problem. Ryan Harmon, the Arkansas audition, or no, native of Arkansas, Lamar, Arkansas. Oh, my good Lord, I can't talk. Native of Lamar, Arkansas, and went on to audition with American Idol.
This is his song, I Knew This Would Happen.
That's what he auditioned with on Idol this time around. We're going to take a break here in just a moment. We're going to move on and close out the last portion of the show. When we come back, we're going to touch on what's happening in the SEC and show a little bit more audio from last night's big win against LSU. We're back in a moment.